Thank you, Colin. Lassies, laddies, señoras y señores, good evening. Thank you. So, when I was first invited to do this toast to the lassies, I initially was very nervous. And I had a lot of questions. My first question was, well, how long am I going to talk for? So I asked my good friend Jeremy Barnes, who I think is over here. Yeah, there's Jeremy. And I said, Jeremy, how long do I speak for? And Jeremy, as you all know, is a good man, and he gave me some very good advice. He said, well, there's a very simple rule. He said, you must never speak longer in public than you can make love in private. So that's about it. Thanks very much. I'm joking, of course. This is going to go on all night long. So my next question for Jeremy was, well, what should the tone of the toast be? What should its content be? How do I refer to the lassies? What do I talk about? And again, Jeremy, great lad, had some great advice. And I've got Jeremy's email here. And Jeremy said the following. Comment upon some of the more amusing idiosyncrasies of the fairer sex. Draw upon Burns' poetry for inspiration. Many men take a very chauvinistic, macho view of the women of the fairer sex and fill the toast full of sexist jokes, dirty jokes, and plenty of jokes about gynecologists. Well, my preparation has been fantastic. Wait, I didn't see this bit. Of course, given the Sao Paulo Burns sub, it is a sophisticated affair with plenty of refined lassies. Tone down the chauvinistic bit. No sexist jokes. No dirty jokes. Under no circumstances, no jokes about gynecologists. It makes the older ladies uncomfortable. I haven't got anything else prepared, so we'll see how I go. First thing is that I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of the lovely lassies here in the dining room and back in the kitchen for putting on such a wonderful spread this evening. I'm sure you'll agree. And in particular, the lovely lass that made the haggis. So if I could just ask Bertus to stand up. Sorry, a very furry specimen of lassie there. Well, obviously it's a great privilege to be delivering this toast the day before Mothering Sunday back in the UK, and the day after International Women's Day, which was yesterday. As everyone knows, 8th of March is International Women's Day, and all week there were celebrations and parties and seminars to, bring up the build-up to the big day yesterday. You saw what happened there, didn't you? International Women's Day has become a whole week of stuff. So we've got to be careful, gentlemen, because otherwise the whole of March we're going to be buying flowers and making dinner and making silly romantic promises that we can't keep. So we just need to keep a lid on that. That's the gynecologist joke. Can't tell that. Because events like International Women's Day show us how far women have come since the 1700s when Burns was around. Obviously, in the 1700s, women were shy, retiring, delicate creatures. And today, the world views them in a totally different way. They view themselves in a different way. Books like 50 Shades of Grey have played a great part in that. If you don't know what 50 Shades of Grey is, gentlemen, don't worry, the film is out next year. It's going to star Emma Watson. That's Hermione from Harry Potter, so keep an eye out for that. Actually, a copy of 50 Shades of Grey has been spotted in the coffee table of our good lady president here, Cristiana Tess, proud owner of 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, it's in Portuguese. I've seen it. Just brushing up on some vocab, nothing wrong with that. Actually, my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend Raquel recently read 50 Shades of Grey, and since then she's found it incredibly seductive to look at me while she bites her lip. It's good, it's good. I I'm enjoying it so much that I haven't told her yet that she needs to be biting her bottom lip. It's not a great look, sorry. But how did Burns talk about women? Burns, for a lot of his poetry, women were referred to or portrayed as nagging wives, silly airhead types, or just passive objects of Burns' affection, or in some cases lust. Some of the words that appear in his poetry you didn't even know were invented back then. It sounds like I'm going to have to read this one another time. But of course Burns expressed in most of his poetry for women a great love and adoration, like from this poem, A Red, Red Rose. As fair are you, my lovely lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love you still, my dear, till all the seas go dry. Till all the seas go dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. Think how long that takes in Scotland. Oh, I will love you still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. It's dead cheesy, isn't it? Really cheesy. It's like a bad Sertanejo song. But we mustn't be flippant because, Bob Dylan actually cited that poem as his single biggest source of creative inspiration. And if we think about all the artists that he's influenced, then obviously we can see the impact that he has today. But obviously, as Tom referred to, Burns was also a prolific lover of women. He had a sexual history that would make Silvio Berlusconi raise an eyebrow. And he actually fathered, well, my records say he had fathered 15 children, but I suspect the real answer is nobody really knows. But he wasn't a total rogue. Burns had the utmost respect for women, and he realised that they were better than us. From his poem, Green Grow the Rashes. Old nature swears, the lovely dears, her noblest work she classes o'er. Her apprentice hand she tried on man, and then she made the lasses o'er. So nature as an apprentice made man, and then when she had practiced, she made woman. And obviously, Burns' own account is backed up by biblical testimony. Yeah, so as we know, Adam was walking through the Garden of Eden one day, and God came to him and said, Adam, you're looking terribly lonely. What's the matter? And Adam said, well, yeah, I am pretty lonely. He said, I don't have anyone to talk to but you, and it's pretty miserable just being on my own all the time. And God said, well, I've been thinking about that, and I'm going to fix it for you. So I'm going to make you a woman. I said, what's a woman? He said, well, you're going to really like this. He said, a woman, she'll bear your children for you. She'll clean and cook and wash for you without complaint. She'll be frugal in her spending and rational in her thoughts, emotions, and temper. She'll be reasonable, slow to disagree, and will always admit fault whenever you disagree. She'll be an excellent driver. And your sons-in-law will cherish and love her as if they were their own mother. And Adam thought about this and said, that sounds great. How do I get myself a woman? And God said, well, it's going to cost you. Okay, how much does it cost? An arm and a leg. Adam said, what can I get for a rib? But enough of the lassie bashing. I wanted to end on a more sincere note. Hakel told me that after all that lassie bashing, it better be really sincere, so let's see how we go. Obviously, Burns had the sense to know, as all of the laddies that are here today know, that lassies are the centre of our world. Without them, we'd have nothing to live for, and we'd be completely lost without them. The lassies are beautiful, intelligent, charming, selfless creatures, and they take loving care of our hearts. And for that, we owe them everything. So, with that, I would ask the gentleman to be upstanding. Charge your glasses. Should be charged already. To the lassies.